The Tar Heels are through to the Sweet 16. The Blue Devils are through to the Sweet 16. And NC State is in the Sweet 16. I'm not sure how many people would have expected this about 2 weeks ago, but here's where we are. And I've said this 1,000 times, whether or not Kevin Keatts believes me, but we go back a month and a half, 2 months, and I looked at the roster and went, there's no reason why they're not as good as anybody else. Maybe not Duke and Carolina, although they just beat Duke and Carolina basically a week ago. And maybe this is where they were always supposed to be. Kevin Keatts joins us on the Adam Gold Show. Thank you very much. I'm sure there's nothing going on, and you just happen to have like nothing to do for 10 minutes. How you feeling?
You know what? I'm feeling great. Love our team. Love how hard we're working, and glad that we're in the position that we're in. There's 16 teams left, and we're one of those, and we're playing good basketball.
You are playing good basketball, and I think that I'm a layman. I'm not one of the experts. I'm not a coach. I see that I think your team is playing maybe better half-court defense than they have all season long. How do you see it?
Well, I think we've improved in a lot of different areas, and I like to refer to it as we've cleaned up some areas that we were not, performing well, and that could be offensively, that could be defensively, but we're doing some really good things, and I will say this about our guys. They're really locked in on both sides of it. We're moving the ball more. We're scoring in a more efficient way. And defensively, I think we're doing a really good job on most of the team's best players.
You certainly did a good job on Jack Gohlke. I mean, Casey Morsell. At one point, I'm not sure how familiar you are with square dancing, but I thought Casey and Jack were going to do-si-do for a while.
Well, Jack he's having a hell of a tournament. He was. I mean, I want to say 16 3-pointers in 2 days.
Yeah.
And Casey did a good job. And, we knew coming in after watching the Kentucky game that he would, be really efficient. But we wanted to make sure that we made it tough on him, and all the shots were tough. And Casey did a really good job, and a couple other guys had him. I thought Michael O'Connor did a good job. Yeah. And he was a big key to us winning that game, not letting him get, off with those 3-pointers.
Kevin Keatts is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Where did your guys draw positivity from based on the way you guys closed the regular season? Did they just kind of grow into it in the ACC tournament?
Well, everybody panicked so much when we lost the last 4 games of the season. And I would say to everyone, that was our toughest 4-game stretch.
Yeah.
On the road at Florida State, which very few teams win there. Pitt's playing great basketball there. And then we had both Duke and Carolina, who were top 10 teams at the time. And what we decided to do is, I told them before we went to the tournament that, bring something lucky with you, focus in on what we didn't do, get better and work on ourselves, and we'll win games. And 5 games in 5 days, and the stretch that we had, and to obviously, go through the last 3 games of Duke, UVA, and Carolina, man, it shows a lot about our team.
Oh, incredibly gutty. We talked to Michael O'Connell last week, and he said 5 in 5 days isn't that big a deal when you play as much AAU basketball as most of these guys play, but it's a different type of pressure. It's a different type of energy that you have to expend because of the stakes here. There aren't many stakes in AAU basketball. Was it more difficult, mentally or physically for your guys 5 in 5 days?
Well, I think it was more, if you remember, we had some ups and downs and some injuries, and, DJ Horn didn't even play in the first game against Louisville. And then, then we had, Jaden Taylor's ankles were bothering him. Casey kind of had a groin as we were going into the championship game. So I think it was equally, we had to be physically tough to be able to, make the grind of playing 5 games in 5 days. But also there's a mental, part to that where we had to really, really lock in and understand and focus. And just remember, these are unique teams we're playing with no days of prep. And so we
Right.
had to lean on what we learned throughout the regular season. And honestly, it's weird because we got stronger against every team in the second half,
Mm-hmm.
and that's after playing 2 or 3 games.
There's no question about that. I just looking at the box score, and I watched all of your games against Texas Tech and against Oakland, and they were both riveting games. And Texas Tech, came in from the Big 12, and how great a season that whole league had, and all of that. And I thought you guys were the better team, pretty much start to finish. And I thought while it was closer against Oakland, I thought you guys were the better team from start to finish. But I was shocked to see that DJ Burns played 42 minutes out of 45. What has he meant? It looks to me like he's played his best basketball all season the last week and a half.
Well, he has. And, it's funny because now the national audience is kind of seeing what everybody in the ACC and the people around Raleigh are seeing. He's a great story, big teddy bear, great, touch, soft feet, quick on his feet, can do some different things. And, just one of those, great guys to be around. And I think he's taking his game to another level. He and I spoke after the season last year, and he just did not like the way he ended the season against Creighton and didn't play well. And so I knew once we got back into postseason, it was going to be a different DJ Burns.
He certainly has been. He's been absolutely awesome. And again, the fact that he played 42 minutes, he didn't get in foul trouble. He's an incredible passer. And obviously, people aren't used to seeing somebody who is that big have that kind of soft touch, and he's got great feet. Let me ask you about Mo Diarra, who over the course of the season has become almost indispensable to your team. Now, he's fasting for Ramadan, and your game time, which is the first on the floor on Friday, means that he's going to have issues with rehydration all the way through. How are you handling that particular element, or how will you? Do you have a plan for it?
Yeah, we have our, it's a collection, a group of our trainer and our nutritionist and our strength coach, and they've done a really good job putting together a great plan for Mo to be successful, obviously, and he's followed it, and it's worked out for it. And you got to give him a lot of credit because a lot of that comes from him, from being able to trust in others and follow the plan and stay true to his religion.
I mean, he's also become such a good player. Did you know that he was going to bust out threes like this?
Well, no, you know what? It's funny because if you talk to Mo, he thinks he's a guard anyway. And so, yes, I did. We had to scale back and get him to rebound, and we had to get him to score around the basket. And then, we wanted to reward him by being able to make shots. And he's actually shot the ball really well for us late in the season.
It looks like he was born. Maybe he is a guard. I don't know. I mean, tall players grow up playing guard, right? I mean, I actually went to school with Ala Abdel Nabi, former Duke player, played in the NBA for a long time, and I remember him when he was a 6'3" point guard, and then all of a sudden he shows up at Duke and he's 6'11". So these guys all played guard as kids.
Well, every big think they can shoot the three, and every guard every now and then think they can post up. So it's kind of, we got some reverse psychology going on, but Mo's been good for us. I mean, he is. He's, one of the guys on our team that can guard 1 through 5. He's been able to knock down threes. He's really rebounded the basketball in great stretches for us. And
final thing, Casey Morsell and his ability to defend. Have you already looked at Marquette? By the way, the significance of Marquette, right? 1974?
No, I don't, but I'm sure you're going to explain it to me right now. And look, and it's my duty to say I got it from you, and I'm going to go explain it to my team, which they're not going to hear anything I say, just so you know that.
That's quite all right. Marquette was the team that State beat for the title in 74.
Yep.
And if it's Houston, that's who they beat for the title in 83. So no pressure, just got all the alumni.
Well, no pressure, but listen, the 74 team didn't play the same team. The 83 team didn't play the same team as 74, so we're going to move on. That's what we're going to do.
You can't fight history, though. You
I
can't.
know, but listen, thank you for sharing that. That's a good nugget to have.
It'll be in the game notes is what for those of us in the media, we're always looking for angles. I will let you go. Kevin Keatts, NC State head coach, I appreciate your time. Congratulations on the run so far. We look forward to it extending for another couple of weeks.
Well, I appreciate you, and thanks for having me on. And like I said, exciting times in Raleigh.
It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, Coach. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay. All right.
Kevin Keatts here on the Adam Gold Show.